The Earth, our world. And yet a mere century ago, we knew only a small fraction of its surface. But man, with his ever-increasing, seemingly insatiable search for knowledge, began to roll back the barriers. A new breed of man, intrepid and resourceful, began to search for the impossible. Commander Robert Peary reached the North Pole in 1909. Roald Amundsen conquered Antarctica to reach the South Pole 2 years later. And in 1927, Captain Walter Snetterton, least known of all English explorers, decided to go across the Andes by frog. Walter Snetterton was a soldier and amateur zoologist who dedicated his life to the study of amphibians. He was obsessed by their potential for survival in hostile environments and at high altitudes. After 8 years of frog research at the Royal Zoological Institute, Snetterton felt ready to test his theories in one of the most inhospitable mountain ranges on Earth. In March 1927, he left for the town of Quequeña in Peru.
Come on. Get those. Careful with the frogs.
Hardy outside to Ferguson, and Ferguson a long raking ball across the field to try and find the head of Irving just inside the Arsenal penalty area. But it's the burly form of Baker who rises above the goal mouth to hit that one firmly away to touch. Still no score, but the pressure is increasing now on Arsenal. And this is Sloane with the throw-in, a mere 10 yards from the Arsenal goal line. And it's Ferguson who picks it up. Kennedy tries to tackle. Ferguson rides it well, pushes out to Keynor, finds Keynor. Keynor turns it inside to Curtis. Curtis to Ferguson. Ferguson's up to it. And it's slipped in. Ferguson has scored for Cardiff today. For Israel. What a mistake by Lewis. Whatever it is, the referee has indicated that it's a goal. And Cardiff goes one up in the tremendously exciting 1927 Cup final. The crowd are erupting. No, I must confess I have to. But certainly Wales has taken this magnificently. Well, 19 years left, and Arsenal keep on serving like that. Expedition! Wow! Greyhounds now who take possession.
Right. Get the frogs in the shade, Sergeant Major, and give them plenty of slime.
Right! Turn! Bearers! Hold out! Put those boxes over there! Come on! Put the boxes over there!
Come on, move it up. Put them in the shade. Well, there doesn't seem any official welcome of any kind.
No, sir. I noticed that, sir. Remarkable absence of an official welcome, sir. Oi, rag, sir. What? Fag, sir.
No.
Isn't half peasy, eh?
And takes the ball safely away and up inside the Arsenal half again. But the referee judges that there was a foul there, so Arsenal are in with a chance again. It's
Hello?
The kick. A good straight pass to Gray. Gray
Hey, what you doing? It's the cup final.
We are the expedition from England. I'm Captain Snetterton.
Please, only 15 minutes. Cardiff 1-0. It's a great final.
Please, we have come here to cross the Andes.
I don't know.
You want me to clout him, sir? And she got out the face.
No, Sergeant Major, that will...
Hello?
Hello?
And it's Keynor inside to Irving.
Captain Snetterton?
That's right.
Oh, my name's Gregory. I'm the vice consul here. Come and have a woman.
No, thank you. I have to get the frogs housed. I want to do a quick recce of the approach slopes of the Cordilleras before nightfall.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course, I only got your telegram yesterday. That's why the place isn't quite, Well, there was going to be a band to meet you, a political prisoners band from Lima. Excellent.
I tell you what you can do. Get me a couple of guides.
Girl guides?
Guides. For the mountains. I want men who know those mountains backwards. Every ravine, every track, every gully.
Yes, I'm afraid you won't get anyone tonight.
What do you mean?
Well, it's cup final, especially if Cardiff win.
Listen, man, if we can walk 104 miles in 5 days, the least you can do is provide me with a couple of guides. I want them here by 6.
We're not on cup final night, Captain. It's a big celebration of the year.
Well, all right. All right, but tomorrow at first light.
It's Wimbledon fortnight.
Wimbledon fortnight?
Yes, they won't give up there. They won't give up there, won't they?
Mr. Gregory, those frogs have been in training for months. They're mentally and physically at their peak. A delay could be fatal.
I suppose I might find someone. They're not all of them interested in the early rounds, but I cannot promise you the best.
I don't care how you wish, Gregory. I want a guide who knows those routes. I want them soon.
Yes, of course, Captain. Score?
Cardiff 1-0.
Tackled by Kennedy for Arsenal.
Captain Sturridon.
Morning, Mr. Gregory.
I've managed to find you a guide.
Oh, good man.
Venata, Atawa Venata. Yes, she knows the mountains like the back of her hand. Both her sons were mountain guides, the best.
Well, why aren't they here?
Both dead, I'm afraid. Fell down a ravine.
But surely she's not them.
That's the best you'll find in Wimbledon fortnight.
What does she say?
She says, great win for Cardiff. Thank you.
On May the 9th, 1927, shortly after midday, Snetterton and RSM Bing made the first reconnaissance with their new mountain guide.
I think these boulders are too smooth and sharp for a frog assault, Sergeant Major. We need some sand or gravel-based approach so the frogs can grip. Excuse me? Excuse me? Could you tell her to stop, Sergeant Major?
Do you know what stop is, sir?
Well, it's stop in Spanish. Stoppo. Arresto.
Oh, I know what stop is in Norwegian, sir. It stands it. Stands it!
She's not going to understand Norwegian, Sergeant Major. They're Spanish.
No, that's not Spanish, sir. They're Indian.
Well, say something in Indian, for God's sake. She's going to be in Brazil in 20 minutes.
Indian, sir.
Well, go on, use it, man.
All right, now, what was it? Damasse, does it? Damasse!
Damasi! Oh! Si, comprendo! Si.
Ah, that seems to have done the trick. Well done, Sergeant Major. Right, carry on. We did not ask for schoolgirls.
She says that the fat one specifically asked for schoolgirls.
We merely asked you to go no further. We wanted you to stop. Do you understand? Damasi.
Oh, you did ask for schoolgirls. Well, if you'd only said so, I was smart. We could have fixed you up.
All I wanted was for this so-called guide to stop rushing around all over the Andes. There was no mention of any schoolgirls. We merely asked her to stop
Damasi means schoolgirls.
charging around like some... Sergeant Major. I'd like to see you back in my tent immediately.
Shall I, bring the schoolgirls?
The frogs are restless tonight, Sergeant Major.
Yes, sir. They're north, sir. Near the thunder. They know the rain's coming. Like first night on the stage, sir. They want to get going. Like what if you was playing Hamlet, sir? You want to get out there, get a few belters, then you're all right. That's what the frogs are feeling, sir. They're in a right old 2 and 8.
Fascinating thing, the frog mind.
Oh, yes, sir.
Do you know you could carry on a conversation with a frog, Sergeant Major?
Oh, yes, sir. So they say, sir.
Oh, yes. I've often chatted to them, you know. They have a surprisingly wide vocabulary. You see, each croak contains within it thousands of little resonances, a whole complex variety of variations and modulations which can express dozens of concepts, thoughts, ideas. Do you realize, Sergeant Major, that with each inflation of the vocal sac, oink, the frog is expressing a whole theory of amphibian social organization. Oink, this is my territory. Oink, this particular piece of vegetation is my own.
I like watching them mate, sir. They get in each other's mouths, sir.
Oh, no, of course they don't.
Well, they got no organs, sir. Imagine what life would be like if you had nothing in your trousers.
What on earth's going on out there?
You better come quickly, Captain. Spot a bother with the frogs.
Oh, my God. By Jove, they've got one of the boxes.
Shall I let them have it, sir?
No, far above their heads, Sergeant Major.
How about above their knees, sir?
Above their heads, Sergeant Major. We don't want to lose their goodwill by killing them.
As you say, sir. I'd better just shoot a couple of them, sir.
No. Let me talk.
Remember, they don't speak English, sir.
No, it doesn't matter, Sergeant Major. It's the attitude they respect. Now then, what's going on here, eh? Put that down at once. Yeah? Right. Who's in charge here, eh? Come on. Who organized this? Come on. Ah. Well, what's the meaning of this? Eh?
Señor, no. Posso dedicarle poteo. Donde está muy borroco and piquilluna. Tentativo me chichuanaca. Así paca me os impego, chiqua. Juan Mentacue, Juan de Juande. Casa grande, casa. Oh, ma. ¡Ah! ¡Catacha! Inmediatamente, glorioso muchachos Piero, escuadra de tiro e de fundamentalmente organizante diverso. Noche, machas, los machas, Maguaba!
Pedro, a quarte. Devil Verde, a quarte.
What's the matter?
Oh, don't worry about him. He wants a 3-chamber National Assembly, universal adult suffrage, land reform, abolition of censorship, all sorts of nonsense. I mean, half the stuff they haven't even got in Europe yet, let alone here. A quarte. Now, what's going on?
no. Please, you're alarming the frogs.
Yes, quando lavoro. Yes, it's trouble, I'm afraid.
Why?
Well, I'm afraid they say that is because of you.
What, the thunder?
Well, that's not thunder, Margot. I only wish it was. No, that's El Misty, the volcano.
El Misty, Italia Mananti, El Misty, Titica, dos restemestocos, restas Titica.
Yeah, I'm afraid he says the frogs are bringing bad luck to the village. They're making El Misty restless. He'll rain down fire and ashes.
Titica.
And molten lava.
Titica.
And it's ruining the radio reception.
See?
Well, the frogs are in prison. Our souls are appealing to the gods.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not going to let a lot of superstitious claptrap get in the way of an expedition. Boxes! Get away from those boxes! Get away from those boxes! Here. Mr. Gregory, tell these people to get back to their homes immediately.
Señores, mañana se puede hablar de estas cosas, pero me parece es mejor ahora salir.
Mount a 24-hour guard on the frog boxes, Sergeant Major.
Sir!
I'm holding you responsible for the safety of those frogs.
Don't you worry, sir. If anyone looks at them boxes, I'll let them have it right in the orchestra stalls.
Guard the boxes, Sergeant Major. You don't have to kill anybody.
Oh, you've got to kill somebody, sir, if you're guarding.
No, you don't have to. You only have to look as though you would if you had to.
Ah, but you've got to be prepared to if you do have to.
All right, all right.
Right. And I got your permission to kill someone, sir.
No. I'm not going to give you carte blanche to kill just anybody.
Oh, no, sir. Only if I have to.
Yes. Right.
Right.
So if they so much as glance at them boxes.
If they come up to the boxes, if they attempt to release the frogs, and if they ignore all your warnings to the contrary, then, and only then, may you be forced to use your...
And kill them, sir.
All right, but don't go on about it.
Oh, no, sir. Don't you worry, sir. You leave it up to me, sir. I'll give them a warning shot, sir. Between the eyes.
I say, old boy, want a bit of advice? Get out while the going's good.
I'm afraid I'm not used to the word failure, Mr. Gregory.
These people have been living with that volcano for centuries. You can't just walk in and tell them it's a lot of superstition.
The expedition will go ahead as planned, Mr. Gregory. And Quaquania will remain our headquarters.
Well, and so I didn't warn you. Gonna be trouble.
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Double the guard on the frog boxes, Sergeant Major. We can't afford to take any chances.
Sir! Johnson, come over here at the double.
Captain Snetterton spent a sleepless night. By the morning, he decided to forego another recce and set off at dawn. 2 frogs were to lead off up the northwest face. The European tree frog, striking out west towards the Kanaka Pass, and the Italian agile frog going for the summit. The 2 edible frogs and the European marsh frogs were to remain at base camp, with the Himalayan sleeping frog to be held in reserve for the 200-mile push towards the Brazilian border. And if there was any time left, they would go on to look for the source of the Amazon and the so-called Scilly route to India. But time was running out, and he was aware that he was confronted by forces as strong and elemental as nature herself.
You fell asleep then, Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major? Sergeant Major? Corporal Miller? Who's that? Is that you, Miller?
I thought you were one of the nignogs, sir.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't call them nignogs, Sergeant Major. They're rational human beings with an indigenous culture as worthy of respect as our own.
Yes, sir. I've just been having a bash with one of them too, sir. Right, but that's off she was, sir.
Have you been fraternizing with the natives?
Well, a bit more than just fraternizing, sir.
You're supposed to be guarding the boxes.
I couldn't get away, sir. Every time I pull them around the houses up, she pulls them down again, sir. Then you see she has this idea, sir. In one corner of the room, there's a big...
No, I don't want to hear about that. It's absolutely disgusting. I put you in charge of guarding the frogs at a very critical time, and you go off hobnobbing with a native girl. Well, this is a scientific expedition, Sergeant Major, and you must not, repeat, not fraternize with the natives, valid though their culture is.
Sorry, sir.
Well, we'll forget about it this time. I've got more important things to do. I've decided we'll set out today.
I think it's the real thing this time, sir.
What?
Love, I mean, sir.
What are you talking about?
I want to marry her, sir.
Marry her?
Marry her. I want to marry her, sir.
Sergeant Major, I don't think you realize the gravity of your situation. You desert your post, and then you expect me to give you permission for some squalid liaison with a native girl. You know perfectly well what it says in the King's regulations about mixed marriages in the forces.
Yes, sir. That's why I'm resigning, sir. I felt I ought to come and tell you, sir, that I'm not coming on the expedition now, sir. I'm going to stay here with Barbara, sir. We're going to grow guano.
I don't believe it.
That's bird shit, sir. There's a lot of them around here for fertilizer, sir.
I just don't know what to say.
Well, it's funny, sir, but I suddenly see that their way of life out here is a lot richer and a lot more individually satisfying than ours is, sir. And they don't half go, sir.
But after all the years of preparation we put into the expedition, on the very morning when we're about to set out...
well, if you knew the little woman, sir, you'd understand. She's, well, she's got no trace of sardonicism about her, sir, and she's intellectually very sharp, too, and she's considerate as well, without anyway.
Oh, shut up.
Barbara said to tell you, sir, that, well, I don't quite know how to put this, sir, but, well, she's got a friend, sir, who's taking a bit of a shine to you, and, oh, she's a little darling, sir. And if you wanted to come with us into the guano business, sir...
Oh, go away, you dirty man.
Yes, sir.
Corporal Miller, could I see you at once, please? Corporal Miller, I want you to... Oh, dear, I'm sorry. Miller, when you've finished, could I see you, please? Miller as well. I can't... The frogs! Miller! The frogs! Who's guarding the frogs, man? Oh! What are you doing down there? What about the frogs, man? I'll have you court-martialed, whipped. Come on! Come on, then! Come on!
He was too late. The frogs had gone. Let loose. Only the Himalayan sleeping frog, which, going about its normal occupation of sleeping, had not taken advantage of the chance of freedom, remained.
Scouting the ground, that's right. Keep looking, come on. Looking, frogs, I want frogs. these frogs.
Sorry to hear you had a bit of trouble in the night.
Oh, nothing to worry about. Only 6 years of research, gone.
I heard a couple of your chaps have decided to stay, going into the guana business.
Bit of trouble with Sergeant Major Bing, that's all. Mentally unstable, you know. Couldn't take the pace.
Young Miller came to see me this morning with his new wife.
Wife? Miller? He's in the bloody army. Where is he?
Well, they've gone into Queequeg to the Building Society. I gave them the address.
He'll be court-martialed. I'll tear his bowels out with my own hands.
I told you, old boy, you can't fight these people. You might as well go or stay.
You don't seem to realize, Mr. Gregory. I'm going to see this one up. I shall stay here until this frog expedition has achieved everything it set out to achieve. And that is final. Do you understand?
Terrier backhand. Rod Reeves, a forehand lob down the backstring.
Turn that off.
Terrier backhand. The beauty down the line, 30-40.
Turn that off.
Serving for this fourth set, 46.
Turn it off!
Olivares of Spain in the semi-final. So here's...
You shouldn't have done that, old boy.
Clutching only the Himalayan sleeping frog, Snefferton took to the mountains. After 3 weeks of wandering through the Cordillera, Snefferton's failure seemed complete. On June the 4th, 1927, 3.5 months after leaving England, he ate the Himalayan sleeping frog. In a final note, found in a final note box, Snefferton wrote,
"Today I ate the last of the sleeping frog. The plucky little fellow had saved my life without waking up once. I ate him with a sort of berry sauce and a very acceptable lichen and moss souffle. Brought out the delicate flavors of the..."
Nothing more was heard or seen of Captain Walter Snefferton, the man who set out with such high hopes to conquer the most unforgiving mountains of all. But the 6 frogs who were released hopped into Mexico City, 6,300 miles north. Captain Snefferton's belief in high-altitude amphibian exploration had been justified after all. Once again, science had proved that there are no limits to man's achievements. Without such men of courage and determination as Captain Walter Snefferton, the world would never have had self-opening doors, the non-stick saucepan, nor any of the other wonders of modern technology, which have made our world a finer, healthier, happier place.